Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the December 9th, 2025 regularly scheduled board meeting of the Richland 2 Board of Trustees to order. On behalf of the Richland 2 Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you all to our regularly scheduled board meeting. As we gather for our last meeting of the year, I've been reflecting on the phrase we hear so often this season: peace on earth, goodwill towards men. It's more than a greeting card. It's a posture, a reminder, and honestly, an invitation. An invitation to choose patience, to extend grace, and to see the good in one another, even when days are long and work is hard. In our schools, we see this lived out every day. In a teacher who stays after class to encourage a student, in a bus driver who greets every child with a smile, and staff who show up again and again because they believe in the future of Richland 2. That is goodwill in action. That is peace being built brick by brick. As a board, we're going to close this year the same way, grounded, united, and committed to leading with intention and with heart. The challenges may not disappear, but our response will be rooted in something deeper. The shared belief that what we do here matters, and that how we treat one another matters just as much. Thank you all for being here tonight and for the work that you've all done this year to support our students, our families, and our community. Will you now join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, we will now move on to item 3.1, the approval of the agenda. The agenda for tonight's meeting has been published and made available publicly. May I please have a motion regarding the approval of the agenda?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Trapp.
I move to approve the agenda for the December 9th, 2025 regular board meeting with the exception of item 11.1, gold card benefits for senior citizens and district retirees.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Mr. Trapp and seconded by Ms. Washington. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Dr. Elkin Scott.
if you can first let people know that I am on the call
yes.
this evening.
Sorry about that.
And
Dr.
then
Elkin
second-
Scott. Dr. Elkin Scott is joining us by phone. Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
And second, I guess my question would be, you guys said the removal of the gold card. Can you share that?
Yes, that's where we're removing. Originally, this was supposed to be for our workshop, and so it wasn't supposed to be on for this agenda that we discussed.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we discussed it in the agenda meeting that we were going to put it for the workshop, so everybody had time to discuss it and the logistics of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Is there any more discussion? All right, board members, please vote. Okay, the vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. We will now move on to item 4.1, executive session. Item 4.1, executive session. May I have a motion to go into executive session?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington?
I move to convene an executive session for the purpose of discussing receipt of legal advice, litigation updates, student admission requests into the district's adult education program, employment recommendations and certified releases, proposed safety and security measures, and personnel matter regarding the superintendent's contract.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Ms. Williams to go into executive session. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, board members, please vote. Okay, the vote is 7 yes, 0 no. We will now enter into executive session. May I have a motion to end executive session?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington,
I move that we adjourn executive session at 6:48 and resume public session.
is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Mr. Dennis to end executive session and resume public session. Is there, yes. Is there any discussion? All right, there being no discussion, board members, please vote.
Madam Chair.
And thank you. And while, we're getting that up on the screen, Dr. Scott is joining us by phone today. Just want to let everybody know. Thank you. Okay, the vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. We will now move on to item 5.1, the consent agenda. May I please have a motion regarding approval of the consent agenda?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington,
I move to approve the consent agenda for the December 9th, 2025 regular board meeting.
is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Mr. Dennis. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, board members, please vote. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. We will now move on to item 6.1, inspirational moment. Ms. Tamika Washington, will you please introduce this evening's guest to the board?
Board members and Richland 2 family, I'd like to welcome Dr. Tamika Nicholson from the Castle as she introduces our inspirational moment for this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Zamias Price will share tonight's inspirational moment. Zamias is a senior at Westwood High School, and he currently serves as senior class president. He's an active leader who is passionate about making school a place where every student feels seen and heard. Zamias is especially interested in media communications and creative leadership. Upon graduating, he plans to continue developing those skills by studying mass communications at a four-year university, hopefully USC, although he's wearing a Clemson pin. It is my pleasure to serve as Amias' principal. He is definitely a spirited Red Hawk who demonstrates excellence on purpose and exudes what it means to rise, which means he demonstrates resilience, practices integrity, scholarship, and engagement. So without further ado, Mr. Price.
Good evening, everyone. This season is more than lights strung high or calendars packed tight with places to be and things to do. It's more than bells that jingle and commercials that mingle joy with things we can buy. No, this season is a story. A story of hearts that choose to hope even when days grow short and nights stretch long. A story of hands that give back when they could hold back. A story of voices lifting love like lanterns in a place that forgot what warmth feels like. This season invites us to pause, breathe, look around, and recognize the quiet miracles that happen in rooms like this. In classrooms, where teachers spend their magic building futures that they may never see. In families who sacrifice so dreams can grow legs. In students who rise again and again from challenges that try to dim their shine. Because the light in us is relentless. It flickers, yes, but never fails. This season, may we be lantern barriers. May we be more warmth in cold places. Kindness wrapped in courage, empathy that echoes, service that says, I see you. May we remember that the brightest lights do not just hang from rooftops or sparkle on trees. They walk the hallways, sit in our classrooms, and gather in rooms like this, ready to make the world better than they found it. So here's to the joy we create. Not just by joy. Oh, I'm sorry. Not just the joy we find. Here's to the love we give. Not just the love we feel. Here's to the hope we protect like a flame in the wind. Strong, steady, unstoppable. This season, let our light spark. Let our light speak. Let our hearts lead. Let our actions prove that together we shine brighter. Happy holidays, and may we carry this light into every season ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zamias, for your participation tonight. We truly enjoyed your presentation and wish you to have an amazing school year. All right, we will now go on to item 7.0, special recognitions. The agenda in this item section will be recognitions of our outstanding Richland 2 staff. All right, Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Chair Nash, members of the board, and our Richland 2 community. Tonight, we are proud to recognize students and staff and schools whose achievements continue to shine at the state, national, and even presidential level. We will begin with our district level recognitions, then move through our school and student honorees. I would like to ask our Communications Senior Chief, Darcy Rush, to please come forward now with these presentations, and we ask that the board be prepared to step forward for photos after our first presentation. So board members, you'll join us up in the front for the presentations, please.
Good evening, Dr. Moore, Ms. Nash, members of the board, and our Richland 2 community. Once again, Richland 2 has done what it always does, and that is to excel on both a local and national scale. The recognitions presented tonight reflect not only the best of the best across the country, but also the unwavering commitment, innovation, and excellence that defines our district. These achievements represent the kind of work that other school systems aspire to attain, and they highlight the extraordinary students, staff, and schools that make Richland 2 a district of choice for parents who want their students to have the best opportunities. Tonight, we recognize the parts that make the whole of who Richland 2 is and will continue to be. As I call your name or your school, please come forward and receive your recognition and be photographed with Dr. Moore and our Board of Trustees. So we'll begin this evening with our district office communications team. And I say this unashamedly, we did good work this year, y'all. We were able to do this good work because of the good work that exists within Richland 2. This year, your communications team was recognized by the National School Public Relations Association. As part of its prestigious 2025 Publications and Digital Media Excellence Awards, we are going to thank in advance Mr. Matt Sherman, who is the Executive Director of Student Services, for taking our photo. But let me tell you a little bit about this communications team. Tonight, we honor the following recognitions received by your communications team. An award of excellence for the podcast, The More You Know, Free to Focus. Award of merit for the video 2024-25 District Teacher of the Year, Rona Stewart. Honorable mention for the video Center for Knowledge Magnet Showcase. Honorable mention for the video National Music in Our Schools Month. And honorable mention in the video series This Is Us. I do want to thank every member of our communications and strategic partnerships team. These awards reflect your hard work and your passion for sharing the incredible stories happening across our district. And of course, I want to thank our district for always giving us something to be proud of. So give yourselves a huge round of applause. Okay, so don't act shy when you see us at your school. You know why we're there, and you're going to be the first step to us winning some more national awards. Now let's move on to our Magnet Schools of America certifications. We celebrate several schools tonight for achieving national recognition from Magnet Schools of America. We're going to start with our nationally certified schools, Center for Inquiry, led by Principal Emily Whitecotton. Let's give her a round of applause. This national certification process is designed, yep, you can head on up, to recognize the most exemplary magnet schools in the nation, and it helps them as they continue to grow and provide high-quality, innovative curriculum and instructional programs that promote choice, equity, diversity, and academic excellence for all students. Congratulations to the Center for Inquiry. Now let's celebrate our nationally certified demonstration magnet schools. These schools attained the certified demonstration status. Not only did they meet the standards of excellence, but they exceeded the criteria and will serve as learning models for magnet schools across the country to replicate. We'll start with Condor Elementary School, where William Whitehurst is the principal, joined by magnet lead Tanisha Bridges. Thank you. Congratulations. E.L. Wright Middle School, Principal Dr. Scott Floyd, along with the Law Magnet team. Longleaf Middle School, Principal Teresa Boyd, with Magnet lead Tabitha Cuffey. Muller Road Middle School, Principal Dr. Brandon Ross, joined by the administrative team. Polo Road Elementary School, joined by tonight Principal Terrence Isaac and his team. Richland Northeast High School, joined by tonight Principal Dr. Marlon Thomas and his administrative team and magnet leads. Congratulations again to all of our nationally certified and demonstration magnet schools. Let's give them another huge round of applause. We are delighted tonight to recognize Forest Lake Elementary School for being a Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. Principal Benjamin Jackson is here tonight. This award is one of the highest honors awarded by the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence organization. Principal Jackson is joined by members of his administrative team. Congratulations, Forest Lake Elementary School. Kelly Mill Middle School is an avid demonstration school. I looked up to see Principal Dora Coleman, but you're not a Dora Coleman. Come on in. The school has been revalidated as a national avid demonstration school. Miss Irvina Smith and Dr. Izette Myers, or Miss Evina Smith, is here to accept the award tonight. In South Carolina, there are only 3 avid national demonstration schools, with one being in Richland School District 2. Kelly Mill was first validated as a national demonstration school in 2008, and tonight we recognize them for being revalidated. Earning demonstration school status places Kelly Mill within an elite percentage of all avid schools worldwide. I said worldwide, y'all. Let's give them a round of applause. Very good. Dr. Moore? Congratulations. Now on to some athletic achievements. We now recognize our outstanding student athletes and coaches. We'll start with Blythewood High School, Caroline Hawkins. Congratulations, Caroline. She is with her parents and her principals. Can I say principals? Okay. Caroline is being recognized tonight for becoming the only 4-time South Carolina High School League individual golf state champion in state history. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Congratulations. Okay, don't blink. You might miss this team. This is the Blythewood girls track and field team. They're fast. Come on up, ladies. Led by Coach Alicia Hawkins tonight. These student athletes are being recognized for winning the 2025 Girls 5A Division I state title, the first girls program in state history to win 3 consecutive 5A state titles. Team members and coaching staff are all being recognized tonight, so congratulations. Before they step aside, we do have some individual awards that we want to make sure that we call out tonight, beginning with Peyton Hightower for winning the 400-meter state championship in the 2025 track and field season. Brooke Bramlett for winning the 100-meter hurdles state championship. And the 4x4 meter relay, the 2025 state champions, Peyton Haley, her sister. So Dr. Moore, you can give Peyton Haley's certificate. Her sister has a basketball game tonight. And Alejandro Francique. Alejandra. Alexandra, I tried to get too fancy with it. Alexandra Francique. Now, if you all would like to come up for photos too, we're good? Okay. Haley? She's playing basketball tonight. Yeah, that's Peyton. That's her sister. All right, another huge round of applause for these young student athletes. Congratulations. Now we'll move on to the Ridgeview boys track and field team. I don't know, fellas. These ladies got up here a lot faster than you. I don't know. I don't think y'all should race them. The Ridgeview boys track and field team is led by Coach Charles Proctor and supported by Director of Athletics Brian Rosefield and, of course, Principal Dr. Brenda Mack. These young men are being recognized tonight for winning the 2025 boys 5A Division I state title. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you all. And as we wrap up our recognitions tonight, we proudly recognize our dedicated health professionals who have earned national board certification for school nurses. We'll begin with Catherine Allen, followed by Alice Carter, Karen Lobitz, Lisa Peck, and Christine Willis. Let's give all of them a huge round of applause. And led by their fearless leader, Don McAdams. Congratulations to each of our nurses for achieving this distinguished professional milestone. Thank you. Dr. Moore, this concludes tonight's recognitions. Congratulations once again to all the honorees, and thank you for your commitment to excellence and for representing Richland 2 with distinction.
Thank you and congratulations to all of you. We are very proud of your achievements and wish you continued success. All right, we'll move on to item 8.1, public participation. We have one person signed up for public participation to address the board. You will be given 3 minutes to address the board. To assist with timing, the lights on the table in front of you will change from green to yellow to red. When you have 30 seconds remaining, the light will turn yellow. When your time is up, the light will turn red, and you will hear an audible tone indicating your time to speak has expired. Before we begin, I want to remind you that our meetings are streamed live and recorded, and according to policy BEDH, comments from public should not include gossip, defamatory words, or abusive and vulgar language. The policy also prohibits in public session any expression of personal complaints about individual school personnel or any other person connected with the school system. Specific student or personnel issues should be handled through the appropriate procedures as indicated in district policy. Our first person to speak, or our only person, Gawanda Woods. Gawanda Woods. Okay. All right, does not look like they are here, so we will now go on to item 9.0, voting on executive session items. Item 9.1, student admission request into the district's adult education program. May I please have a motion on the student admission request into the district's adult ed program?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Dennis?
I move to approve the student admission request into the district's adult education program for students 1 through 6.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Mr. Dennis and seconded by Mr. Trapp. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, board members, please vote. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. We'll now move on to item 9.2, employment recommendations and certified releases. May I please have a motion regarding employment recommendations and certified releases?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Trapp?
I move to approve the employment recommendations and certified releases as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Mr. Trapp and seconded by Mr. Dennis. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, board members, please vote. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. Moving on to item 9.3, proposed safety and security measures. May I please have a motion regarding the proposed safety and security measures?
Chair,
Ms. Porter?
I move to approve the safety and security measures as discussed in the executive session for W.R. Rogers Adult Education Center.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Porter and seconded by Mrs. Washington. Is there any discussion? Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, Dr. Elkin Scott?
Yes, I do have a discussion piece on this. I noticed that the motion was for safety and security, and everyone knows that that is one of my main priorities and have always been since I've been on the board. But my concerns that I have with this can be a little misleading to the public and those who we're getting ready to vote. Because what we failed to mention is we are getting ready to support this safety measures with someone being able to carry a weapon on our campus who is not a legal police officer or someone who's actually working with Richland County Sheriff's Department or the City of Columbia. So that concerns me. In the past, we've had a similar situation where we allowed someone to, in upper management, to be able to carry a weapon, and that just did not go well. I am not going to support this because what I have shared with you guys and what I would like to see to make me feel comfortable enough to support something like this in the future is to have a public conversation, not only just with the board and a few members, but with the community to see how the community feels with an unlawful officer, someone who's not an officer, being able to secure a weapon on our campus. And even just having discussions, with the school districts that we've done our research with, they don't have the same demographics as Richland School District 2. And what I don't want to see is racial profiling or some other things. So because of that, I will not be supporting this vote tonight. But please understand that safety and security is my number one priority, but only when we have done much research, we have gotten more of the district involved, and we've had community circles to have this conversation. Thank you.
Okay, and just for the interest of the public having all of the knowledge, there has been work done around this in our safety and security meeting and was presented to the board. Mark, do you mind coming up and just sharing with the public how trained the person who would be manning the system that we already have? I know. Okay, and actually. And if you could, don't speak on anything because this is a matter of safety. There are certain things that we cannot say in the interest of protecting the staff and the people who are at W.R. Rogers and the students and everybody's well-being. So if you only could just clarify of the qualification of the person who would be working there.
Yes, ma'am. What this motion does is ask the board for us to go through the procurement process for a contracted individual that would meet all of the certifications for the state of South Carolina. These individuals that do these armed security that we're asking for are certified through the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. They carry law enforcement certifications, weapon certifications, safety certifications, and all of that has to be part of our procurement process to ensure that they meet all of the state regulations.
Thank you. Without saying anything more, that should be good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes,
all right. Okay. Board members, please vote. I vote in the affirmative. My screen disappeared for that particular when I hit yes. The vote is 6 yes, 1 no. The motion passes. We will now move on to item 9.4, personnel matter regarding the superintendent's contract. May I please have a motion on the personnel matter regarding the superintendent's contract?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington?
I move to extend the superintendent's contract to June 30th, 2028.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Mr. Dennis. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no
Madam
discussion.
Chair?
Yes, Dr. Elkin Scott?
Yes, I just want to make sure, is that extension indicating 1 additional year for the superintendent's contract?
That is correct.
Okay, I would like to see if Ms. Washington would like to change her motion to extend that to 3 years. We know that Dr. Moore has really been putting in the work. We look at the test scores that has been brought before us. We see the staff that is really working extremely hard, and the work that Dr. Moore. And when I think about superintendents, we always want to make sure that we secure the best superintendent and that we trust what they're doing. And if they're doing a great job, we don't want to lose them. So with that in mind, I would love to see if that motion will be revised from 1 year of extension to a 3-year extension.
Well, we have to deal with the first motion first. Is that correct? Okay, so.
Well, I'm just asking if Ms. Washington would extend her motion.
She said she's not going to
indicate
amend,
a
she's
3-year.
saying she's not going to amend hers. She's going to.
She's not going to.
Right, we're going to.
Amend it for an additional 2
Right,
more
she's-
years to give 3 years.
Right, we're going to deal with that first motion first.
And then if that motion doesn't pass, then I'll be able to make a motion.
Correct.
Or- Yeah,
Okay.
well, just in case it doesn't pass, I just want the community to know that in order to secure superintendents, you got to show them that you're willing to work with them, that you want to keep them here. And in order to do that, that's with an extension longer being a part of their contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion?
I have,
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
yeah, sorry. So if there's not an amendment, if we vote no and it fails, then we'll go with the 1 year.
That is correct.
And then if it passes,
Sorry, if
then
it passes, then
we can do another.
if the motion fails.
If the motion fails,
her
we'll
motion
be
is
able
for-
to do,
Yes.
if the motion fails for the 1 year, we can go back with another recommendation.
That is correct.
All right, so just in case, just for clarity purposes, I will be supporting I will be voting no for this one, just to see if we can get a 3-year contract.
Okay, so,
Thank
okay.
you. I do appreciate that.
I just want, just in case, for clarity purposes on the books, if someone says I voted no
right,
for
okay,
the
so-
1-year renewal,
so-
it's not because I'm not in support of Dr. Moore, it's because I want another motion of a 3-year
Well,
contract.
but we have to deal with the first motion first, so I
Correct.
don't want everybody to get confused.
No, I understand that,
We're going
but
to
what
deal
I'm
with the
saying
motion
is-
that's on the floor right now.
Which is the 1 year.
Correct. So
Right,
let
and
us-
so what I'm saying is, I am voting no for the 1
Well,
year.
but we have to do that on here, so
I want to make sure, I'm not in support of the 1 year.
Okay.
So I'm saying that I'm not in support, not because I'm not in support of Dr. Moore, but because I'm in support in having a 3-year contract.
That's
why I
when we
wanted
get
to
to
make
that portion, if it fails,
But I
then we
wanted
can have that
clarity
discussion.
for why my vote was
Okay.
no.
All right. Yep. Right.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Davis.
somebody can move to make an amendment.
Correct.
And then you vote on that amendment. If that amendment
Correct.
passes, then you will go back.
So if Ms. Williams or Dr. Scott would like to do that, then they need to make an amendment to the motion now. And then we go back, everybody will vote on their motion, and then we go back to the original motion.
Well, actually, we don't have to do that. If you're in support of your motion and you've already made that motion and it's been second, we can vote on the motion if it has failed.
Okay, you've asked for us to
I
amend it.
cannot
Okay, let
amend
me,
your
okay, everybody,
motion.
order. We're going to go through this. Is somebody wanting to make amendment to this motion?
I like to make an amendment to the
Okay,
motion.
Miss, Williams, what would you like to
She
amend the
she
motion?
cannot make an amendment to a motion that has a
He's-
second. You cannot do that.
Okay, all right, so then your secondary motion, please.
I can make a secondary motion.
Dr. Scott, let me take care of this in here right now. Okay, I'm sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Three.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so in interest of everybody, let's keeping this in order. We're going to deal with the first motion first, like I discussed, or the second motion, the secondary motion, and then go from there. Okay, so your secondary motion is,
My secondary motion is I move to extend Dr. Moore's contract to 3 years,
You gotta say
an
2030.
additional 3 years.
Say 2030, Dr. Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Williams. I move to extend Dr. Moore's contract to 2030,
June 2030, sorry.
June 2030.
June 30th, 2030.
Thank you.
Okay, to June 30th, 2030. Is that correct?
Second.
okay, the motion has been made by Dr. Elkin Scott and seconded by Ms. Williams. Is there any discussion? Okay, I am going to say something. We have been in discussion with this for quite some time, and, definitely people have the right to, make these motions now. It is a shock that discussions that people have had are different now in this moment. So very unclear to me, but again, everybody has the right to change their minds. But just I'm a little bit shell shocked right now. So as that being said, board members, please vote. Okay, the vote is 3 yes, 3 no. The motion fails. Is that correct? Okay, we're going to go back now to the first motion. Ms. Washington.
Madam Chair.
Dr. Elkin Scott,
Because I'm not.
we're not
Yeah,
at the
I'm
discussion
sorry.
point
I'm
just
not-
yet. Dr.
Well,
Elkin Scott, we're
I
not
just
at
have
the
a question because I'm not able to see on my screen because
Okay.
I'm not there. But you said 3-3, and there's 7 of us. Did someone not vote?
Oh,
'Cause I'm
sorry,
not
and there's
able to
one
see on my
abstain,
screen.
and there's one abstain. 3 yes, 3
Okay,
no, and
that's
1
what-
abstain. Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry.
You got it.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, all right, so now we're going to deal with the first motion. Ms. Washington, if you could just make your motion again.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to extend the superintendent's contract to June 30th, 2028.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Ms. Porter. Is there any discussion?
I do have a discussion. Just for Ms. Porter, if no one makes a second motion on this contract, then the motion will fail, and then we will have to come up with a different motion. So I'm just putting out there.
That's
So
what
Ms.
we're
Porter-
doing now.
No, I'm just saying, if no one seconds the
It
motion.
was already
if Ms.
seconded,
But she can always rescind her second.
but
And
she
if
didn't, but she
rescinds
didn't
her
say that she
second-
wanted to rescind it. She's
Madam
made her
Chair?
second. Yes.
Let's call the vote.
Okay, okay, everybody please vote.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis, for being very rude and not allowing me to
Dr.
finish my
Elkin Scott,
conversation.
we have to move on. Thank you. Not gonna get re-uploaded today. The vote is 6 yes, 1 no. The motion passes. All right, moving on now to item 10.1, 10.0, unfinished business, action requested. Item 10.1, policy revision, community use of school facilities. May I please have a motion regarding the policy revision for policy KF, community use of facility?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington?
I move to approve the revision of policy KF, community use of school facilities.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made, by Ms. Washington and seconded by Dr. Elkin Scott. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes,
May I ask-
Mr. Trapp.
I just have a question. At our last board meeting, we had this policy presented to us. We also had an administrative rule presented to us. Does the board need to approve administrative rules? And so we don't, so that was just presented to us. Okay, that was my question.
Okay. All right, any other questions or discussion items? Okay.
Madam Chair?
Oh, yes, Mr. Trapp, Mr. Dennis?
Yes, while we have made strides on this, I think this is the stepping stones for us to go further into it, because this right here is the policy. We're still looking, hopefully we're still looking at trying to change our rental rates for certain things going in the future. So I am in support of this, but I think there's still a lot more work that needs to be done for this policy.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dennis. All right, board members, please vote. The vote is 6 yes, 1 no. The motion passes. Moving on now to item 10.2, 2026 board meeting schedule. May I please have a motion regarding the 2026 board meeting schedule?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Washington?
I move to approve the 2026 board meeting schedule.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made by Ms. Washington and seconded by Mr. Dennis. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, board members, the motion's been made, yeah. Board members, please vote. Sorry. The vote is 7 yes, 0 no. The motion passes. Item 11.0 was removed because it wasn't supposed to be on this agenda, and we will have it in a workshop in January. So moving on to item 12.0, new business, no action requested. That's going to be the board report, our board self-evaluation. This agenda item is the section where the board report regarding board self-evaluation for the 2024-2025 school year. And we have a special guest with us today who is virtual, and that is Mr. Kwame Simmons, founder and lead facilitator of the Simmons Advantage Group, to present to the board. He will be providing the results to us virtually. I want to first just go ahead and say thank you to Mr. Simmons. He's been doing a lot of work with the board on helping us get organized. And so if you see that we are moving at a different level, it is because, in part, because of his work and him guiding us, as well as the hard work of the board. So, Mr. Simmons, are you there?
I am here. Good evening.
Thank you. We turn it over to you.
No worries. Thank you to the Board of Trustees as well as to Superintendent Moore. So This will be, just like you want to bear with me because this is not my comfort zone of presenting because there's a third party who'll be assisting. So I just want to, because I can't see, oh, I can now. Thank you. So thank you, tech team, for having the presentation up. So please move to, so first I'll give some context. So thank you all again for allowing me to present the summary of results. So that we are clear, there will be a general presentation around the structures and topics that were discussed, but the board is still in deliberation around the comprehensive report. And so there may be a need for me to come back where the board deems necessary to provide public results of some of the structures around our work together. And so if we move to the next slide. Okay, no, we're here. Good. So we can go to, and so here, I just want you guys to know, virtually, I am a couple seconds behind. So the audio is a little faster than what's happening virtually. So if you could click, there should be 4 bullets. Okay, thank you. So one, as you see Dr. Scott here, I wanted to extend a huge thank you to Dr. Scott because our relationship began with Dr. Scott as the point of contact, contacting me on behalf of the board around potential development of strategic partnership with Richland 2. And so what you see happening here is we wanted to think about initially what the board self-assessment looked like. And because at the time when the partnership was developed, it was a transition in leadership, excuse me, from Dr. Scott to President Nash. And so it was a great opportunity for reflection around previous leadership, going into new leadership, and what opportunities could be recognized that had gone well and opportunities for growth. And so what we targeted was the board self-assessment as well as looking at the district strategic plan. We can move on to the next slide. Sorry, guys, it hasn't shown up for me just yet. The next slide should say, okay, good, methodology. Thank you. And so what we decided to do here was to develop a methodology around how we were going to work with the board. And so what you see here is a description of our data collection sources, the board self-assessment, as well as the board strategic plan, understanding of the board self-assessment, and strategic data analysis. And so to give you context around the methodology, what we use as a foundation is the behind every good decision, which talks about the Badir framework. And the Badir framework has to do with an analytical framework that looks at how you raise questions, collect, analyze data, look at insights and recommendations. So we looked at three factors. What question were we looking for as we supported the board? So that question is, to what extent is the Richland School District 2 Board of Trustees aligned with the district's 2023-28 strategic plan in awareness, governance practice, and oversight? Are they using the right data? And how are they communicating the insight to their awareness effectively? Okay, we can go to the next slide.
It's on the board self-assessment one. Is that the right one?
It is. I'm
Okay,
sorry. It's
yeah.
just moving forward on this end. Okay. Thank you for that update. So what we have here is the board self-assessment. So what we wanted to do with the board self-assessment, which was designed by the board, but the Simmons Advantage team did the evidence collection and data analysis. And so the board designed a quantitative rating scale as well as an open-ended question to assess key areas around mission alignment, board culture, governance rules, meeting effectiveness, communication, and continuous professional development. And so what we see there in terms of evidence is that the board has demonstrated strong patterns in a commitment to student learning. And so everyone was completely aligned in that space, but we wanted to but there's also evidence and room for growth around how that evidence or how that passion and commitment for student learning is demonstrated in the collection of evidence and outcomes as it interacts with the district and with itself in an aligned way to produce high quality outcomes for student achievement across all student subgroups. Okay, next slide, please.
And I'll just let you know when it's on the next slide because there's like a 20-second delay. So we are now on the understanding of strategic plan.
Okay, excellent. So the understanding of the strategic plan was designed for the board to self-assess itself around it and around their individual board members' understanding of each of the categories in the strategic plan. And so what we did was we went through an exercise, then the Simmons Advantage team collected that evidence and then produced a summary of results so that the board could see collectively how they responded individually to that section of the plan. Next slide, please.
Okay, we're on the next slide.
All right, thank you. And so the Simmons Advantage team was tasked with looking at the strategic plan and providing an analysis of where the plan sits in terms of progress at the midpoint. So the 2023, in which the plan was launched, and where are we now in 25? And so the board has taken significant time to look and review the results of that plan with a clear communication around how they should be interpreting that, and they are now in the process of organizing themselves around subcommittees and chairs who will lead respective aspects of that strategic plan, reporting out and monitoring. Okay, next slide, please.
Okay, next slide.
All right, thank you. And so our cross analysis and governance alignment. And so here, the board self-perception and strategic plan implementation was reviewed and discussed as a team around strengths of board oversight around each pillar. And so similar to what was discussed on the previous slide, the board has been very reflective and eager to organize itself to ensure that it is best prepared to be supportive of Dr. Moore and the district around ensuring that when there's interaction and governance from the board, or oversight from the board, that the district and the board are aligned with what they're asking and what they're looking for. And so indicators of board strategic alignment was deeply discussed, and the board is in process of creating very innovative steps on how to ensure that those things are structured and systemic. Okay, next slide.
Next slide.
Okay, and so here, notable strengths that we see in board leadership begin with President Nash jumping right in right away. I mean, hitting the ground running to ensure that these things happen. And so President Nash and I have been in consistent communication and ensuring that I am communicating with her. We've structured several meetings. And so the board has really taken a baton in the transition into her leadership around how to be more accountable itself, around how it is structured and set up to best support the district in ways that are aligned to each other. All right. And next.
Okay, next slide's up.
All right, thank you. And so there are some priorities of growth that the board is considering that they want to take and look at into phases of how they're structuring themselves. And then they will use that as recommended actions for board development, around professional development, particular actions that they should take. And there is a follow-up timeline that President Nash, I think, will be discussing around what that looks like, as well as board retreat and other professional development and continuous learning. The next slide.
I see our beautiful faces, so next slide is up.
All right, thank you. And so what I wanted you all to see here is when I came in, I saw each one of them individually. I was able to meet each one of the board members and see and hear their passion around the community that they serve for Richland 2. And I'll be honest, I am in and out of districts all over this country and in many places across the globe. The commitment that is there, as well as on the board, as well as the district and inside the schools. I was able to visit a couple of schools, and there is an unbelievable passion that where people are committed to support the students in Richland 2. And where President Nash started with what she framed as what many people think is a mission impossible. If you can change the slide, has now gone on to a path that you can see that shows that the mission is possible. And so with the continuous work that has happened, I think the board now has a very clear blueprint around how to assess data, what kinds of data points to look for, as well as recommended structures on how to work with Dr. Moore and her team in a way that produces the absolute best outcomes for every single student that's enrolled and will be enrolled in Richland 2. And so I just want to thank each one of you all for giving me the opportunity to present these preliminary results, as well as the opportunity in the future to come back and speak in a more detailed sense once the results have been confirmed by the board. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Simmons. And I just want to say to the board, appreciate all the hard work that we've done. And up until this point, we've really worked really, really hard. If they look tired, it's because they have been working nonstop. But they look refreshed, so y'all wear it well. All right, so next up we have item 12.2, External Auditor's Report. This agenda item is going to be the report. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to ask our Senior Chief for Financial Operations, Ms. Williams, to come to the board to introduce our auditor. And as they make their way, I just personally want to say a very special thank you to our finance department. They have been working tirelessly since July to get our audit done, and I'm happy to report to the board that we submitted our audit on time in accordance with state requirements, and they have done just a tremendous work. So thank you, Nancy. Please tell your team we said thank you also, and I look forward to hearing this report from our new auditor.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Moore. I stand before you to present Mr. Andrew Coleman, who's a partner with Green Finney Colley in their Malden office. As you know, as Dr. Moore just said, this is our first year with the firm. They are Mr. Coleman and his team were very professional, and while the audit process was a bit intense, they were an absolute pleasure to work with. And so thank you to him and his team and to the entire business services team for working tirelessly during this tirelessly through this process. So with that said, I'm turning it over to Mr. Coleman.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you, Madam Chair. As she mentioned, my name is Andrew Coleman. I'm a partner with Green Finney Colley, and we were the external audit firm doing your audit this year. Before we get into the presentation, there's one disclaimer. So normally if I'm here presenting your audit, you would have the actual audit to look through, right? And as you're probably aware, you don't have a copy of the audit yet, and there's a reason for that. Every year, the federal government issues guidance. And in this guidance, it tells me when I'm doing your single audit, what I need to look at. This year, they did not release that guidance until the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So in addition to that, once that is given, the SDE, the South Carolina Department of Education, issues a single audit guide that we have to look at as well. It was issued yesterday. The good news is we were able to get your draft completed. We did all the audit work that we felt like we needed to, and it was submitted for your December 1st deadline. So real briefly, what we like to do is kind of go through and just do a quick refresher, remind everybody what an audit is and what an audit is not. So really in the audit, there's really only one item, that's mine, and it's the opinion. And in that opinion, it spells out what the district is responsible for and what we're responsible for. So you can see here the district is responsible to maintain effective internal controls, and the district is responsible for the financial statements. So if the district's responsible for all that, what's my responsibility? Well, we come in and we give reasonable assurance that your financial statements are materially correct. And again, we say reasonable assurance because although the accounting staff might disagree, we did not look at every transaction that took place during the year. They might have felt like we did, but we looked at your material transactions and then samples of others. And so that's how we can give you reasonable assurance that your financial statements are materially correct. Also, just as a reminder, the purpose of my audit is not to detect fraud. We obviously do consider fraud risk as we're going through and doing your audit, but my audit is designed to make sure that your financial statements are correct. And the good news is we are issuing an unmodified opinion. That's a clean opinion. That's the best opinion that you can receive. So looking at your general fund, you can see your unassigned fund balance increased $3.1 million to $122.9 million. So when you look at your unassigned fund balance, that's the metric most people go by. So you can see it was $101.9 million, or about 27% of your 25 expenditures. As a reminder, the GFOA, which is the Government Finance Officers Association, they recommend a minimum of 16.7%, which is approximately 2 months. And again, that's their minimum that they recommend. And the other thing to remember, their recommendation is for all types of governments, school districts, cities, counties. These other types of governments, they have different revenue sources. The bulk of your revenue comes in through your property taxes, and that only comes in at the end of November and December. So that's really why you need to maintain an adequate fund balance, because really you've got to maintain and have enough in your fund balance to carry you through to end of November, December when your tax revenues come in. All right, so looking at your general fund revenues, you can see they were $354.6 million. They increased about 7% from the prior year. And the biggest increase from the prior year, you can see it was 16.7 in state revenues, and that was mainly higher state aid to classrooms. When you compare that to your budget, you're approximately 1% higher than your budget. Looking at your expenditures, you can see you had $380.6 million, which was about a 9% increase from the prior year. You can see most of your increase from the prior year was in instruction. And when you compare this to budget, you are slightly over budget with an asterisk. If you look at that third bullet point there, you can see debt service, $1.1 million, was over your budget. What this is, you all entered into some new subscriptions, some internet subscriptions. And due to how we have to account for that, we have to recognize an expenditure on the front end of that. So that $1.1 million was really a non-cash item that had to be booked just for lease and SPITA accounting purposes. So if you take that out, your expenditures were actually under budget. Everyone talks about the general fund, but we always like to remind everyone, in addition to your general fund, you've got some other special revenue funds. So in your special revenue fund and in your special revenue EIA fund, you can see you had a total of $82 million were expended this past fiscal year. And the thing to remember on all of the funds that come into your special revenue funds, there's generally conditions. There are restrictions on what you can use those funds for. So anything that comes in through those funds, you can't just move over to your general fund and do whatever you want to with it. Generally, they're for a specific purpose, and those are the only items that those amounts can be spent on. So in addition to your special revenue funds, you have a food service fund, and you can see third bullet point there, you had a decrease in your fund balance of $0.9 million. Normally, a decrease in your fund balance would be a bad thing. However, if you see the last bullet point we've got here, in your food service fund, if you are over 30% of the expenditure level, the SDE wants you to spend those funds down. So that's what you guys are doing. You're trying to get back under that 30% level, and you're using it on capital items. So we don't want recurring expenditures to be the driver of those, but we want you to buy some food, equipment for all of your cafeterias. So in addition to those special revenue funds, you also have your capital projects fund. You can see you had a decrease in your fund balance of $48.6 million due to all of the ongoing projects. You can see you had about $62.8 million expended in capital this past year. And you also have a debt service fund. You had an increase in fund balance of $13.6 million. And then if we look out at what your actual long-term debt is, you can see it was $543.8 million, which was a decrease of $52.1 million from the prior year due to just making your regularly scheduled principal payments. So if you look into fiscal year 26, your principal and interest payments are expected to be $68.6 million. And saving time, we'll skip that one. Real quick, coming up for next year, we get to have more fun with these guys and implement GASB 103. Essentially, what we're going to have to do is the management's discussion and analysis, they want more analysis. So it's going to require some more work for your finance staff, and they're thrilled to be able to do it. So looking at compliance, so you did have to have a single audit this year, and the two programs that we looked at were the USDA program and the Gear Up program. Happy to report we had no issues or no findings related to any of your federal funds. However, when it came to the financial statements, we do have two items that we're reporting in the financial statements. You can see this first one is a prior period adjustment. And there were some amounts that in the prior year, they were shown as a liability as unearned revenue. Well, when we started looking at it, those actually should have been a component of your fund balance. So since we found those items, we did have to restate the prior year balances. And then the second item we had, there were some capital asset additions that didn't get capitalized in the prior year. That we had to capitalize this year. One additional comment we'll have in the management letter, just related to your pupil activities. Just as a reminder, there's always risk when a lot of money is being collected in one place. We think your procedures you have in place are adequate. We just wanted to put that reminder in front of the board. Again, unmodified opinion, good financial condition, and as Dr. Moore said earlier, staff are great to work with. With that, any questions?
Board members, any questions?
No, Madam
yes,
Chair, I
Ms.
just
Porter.
wanted to say thank you, and thank you to the staff as well. We think they're pretty good, too.
Well, and I just want to say, you're probably one of the happiest auditors I've ever seen in my life.
We know an audit's not fun to begin with, so we're trying to make it as pleasant as possible.
Well, thank you so much for the joy that you brought, and thank you so much, team. I see y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Dennis.
I want to say thank you very, very much for everything you've done for us with the audit, and to our finance department. Thank you for everything y'all do, and it seems like y'all had a lot of fun, and the finance committee's getting started, so we're going to have some more fun.
First year audits are always fun because we essentially question everything. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate the work you did. Oh, sorry,
Madam
Ms. Porter.
Chair?
Yes.
I also wanted to make a suggestion, or maybe just throw a thought out there. This topic has come up to me a few times when working with other board members across the state about how we as a district conduct these audits, and also how we work with an internal auditor and an external auditor. I just wanted to throw out the suggestion that perhaps this be something that you want to present and the state level to communicate and share with other boards of how our process works and how successful we've been and how that has come to be, just from different questions I've heard from others across the state.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Madam Chair, can I
Yes,
just?
Sure, yeah.
Address what Ms. Porter raised? Thank you for recognizing that, Mrs. Porter. One of the finding recommendations where he talked about our, being careful with outside agencies like our booster clubs, that is a direct result of the work that our internal auditor did. She did an audit on that, and we did make some corrections that needed to be addressed, and as a result, it shows up as a strength for us in our audit. So we will definitely take that under consideration. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to item 12.3, budget timeline for the 2026-2027 general fund budget. Dr. Moore, bring her on down. Nancy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we are entering into the new budget cycle. I know everyone's very excited about that. Ms. Williams is very excited about that, and I'm going to ask her to present the timeline that we are proposing for our budget cycle. Ms. Williams?
All right, I'll be brief. And so, as it relates to our budget for fiscal year 27, we'll kick things off the first week of January by sending out a survey to board members, staff, parents, and our high school students, similar to what we did last year. During the months of January and February, we will engage in stakeholder, we'll have stakeholder engagement. On January the 16th, we will plan to send the base budget and budget request forms out to departments. At both board meetings in the month of March, we plan to have public input at the beginning of those board meetings. By the end of March, that's when administration will review and compile budget requests. Information, we'll have our budget work session on April 16th. First reading on April 28th, and then right now we're tentatively planning on submitting to the county by May 1st, but again, that will depend upon what the official date is that they send to us. And then hope to have the official public hearing and the second reading on June 9th. Dr. Moore?
Okay. Board members, any questions?
I would just say there's that small line about the small group meetings. I'm raising my hand just so that we could go ahead and plan for those.
We're actually going to try to do it one all together, ideally.
Okay.
So that we all are on the same page.
During a workshop?
Yes, having
Okay.
the conversation together so everybody's not asking like one.
That's fine, as
Yeah.
long as we have a workshop
Oh,
where we
yeah.
can
Yeah.
have the time
Yeah,
necessary.
we
to ask
would
questions.
prefer to do it all together if we can,
Okay, there we
just
go.
for the communication's sake.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to item 13.0, agenda items for the next meeting. Let's take a look at the draft agenda for January 13th, 2025. Dr. Moore.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's 2026. Thank you, Madam Chair. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is January 13th, 2026. We will start with our call to order at 5:30 p.m., followed by the welcome and pledge of allegiance. We'll then move to the approval of the agenda and release to executive session. In executive session, we will discuss student appeals, student admission requests into the district's adult education program, employment recommendations, and certified releases, released back to public session at 6:30 p.m. We will then move to the consent agenda, which will include approval of the consent agenda, minutes from the previous meeting, classified employment and in-district transfers, continuous improvement plan updates. Next, we will have our inspirational moment, followed by public participation. Then we'll move to voting on executive session items, which would include student appeals, student admission requests into the district's adult education program, employment recommendations and certified releases, and as needed for items discussed in executive session. Next, we will move to the unfinished business action requested. The board will look at policy revisions for policy BCB, board member conflict of interest, Policy GBEA, conflicts of interest / staff ethics. Policy IC, school year. Policy ID, school day. Policy IJ, instructional resources and materials. Policy IJK, supplemental materials selection and adoption. Policy IJL, library and instructional materials selection and adoption. Then we'll move to new business, no action requested. The board will review and sign the South Carolina Board Association's ethics principles. Next, we'll have a review of the draft agenda for the January 27th, 2026 regularly scheduled board meeting, followed by our if needed items of public participation, executive session, voting on executive session, conclude with board and superintendent comments, and adjournment.
Okay, board members, is there anything that we would like to add to a future agenda? Okay, all right, well, then now we will go on to board comments. So let's start with Ms. Porter. Well, holiday greetings, sorry.
Right, I was gonna say, the agenda says they must be holiday wishes. I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, and I hope that you enjoy this upcoming time of rest and time with your families. It is definitely a precious time, and I hope that they are all bring our Richland 2 family joy.
Mr. Trapp?
Yeah, I'd just like to, like to say a special thank you to all the veterans out there that, the past couple of weeks had opportunity to spend time with veterans, and particularly at our Veterans Day celebration here at the Performing Arts Center. And not just the veterans that we normally associate with those that we see and have grown up with, but this year it's the 250th, coming up is the 250th anniversary of the birth of this country and the revolution that brought that about. And what was it, 2 weeks ago maybe, we had the unveiling of the African American history calendar for next year, and I was truly appreciative to hear the stories of so many of the people there that fought for the Revolutionary War. It is something I was not aware of, and I do appreciate opportunities to come together and learn things like that. So I want to especially say thank you to all the people that line those things up, that go to all this, go to put so much work and effort into bring these historical events to us. And I really hope everybody has a good Christmas and you spend time with your family, and we'll see you next year.
Mr. Dennis?
I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I want to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. My family, we get to celebrate both holidays. We get to celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas, so it's really cool there. But during the holidays, there's sports going on, and one of the great things about sports is basketball. So if you want to get warmed up for basketball season, Ridgeview's having the bash. And let me tell you, I went last year and it was amazing. And it got me ready for basketball season. And, competitions runs wild. So, thanks Spring Valley last night, they beat Lugoff Elgin High School 35-15 with their Quiz Whiz team. And then they beat North Central High School 35-9 with their Quiz Whiz team. So I know those students are going into the holiday spirit, charged up, ready to make state next year. So thank you for what everybody does. Thank you for my fellow board members for what you do. Thank you, Dr. Moore. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, even if it's Friendsgiving. Hey, have a wonderful one. Thank you for everything y'all do. Thank you.
I can't believe you didn't turn on your jacket for that. Ms. Williams? She's going to let you turn your jacket up for the holiday comments and greetings. There we go. All right, Ms. Williams.
All right, I want to start off by first saying, when we talk about the power of we, I'm often reminded of why we do what we do. Just as children need consistency, so does our district. We often don't recognize the work of our superintendent, Dr. Moore, so I want to take the time today to thank you for all that you've done for our district and leading us in the right direction. You have been inspirational to this district. You have led us to places that we didn't know were even possible. So thank you for shining the possibilities or allowing us to see the possibilities of our district and ensuring that we are growing and we are learning and to pour into everyone. So again, thank you for the work that you do as the superintendent and leading everyone. And again, I also want to thank our staff members as well. I had the pleasure of visiting several schools this year. I mean, not this year, but in the last time, and it was very insightful. Love to see the children, especially at the medical day that they had at Kelly Middle School. And just to see, like, I held a real heart in my hand. It was in a plastic bag. But for the student to be able to explain everything about the heart in terms that I could understand, but the fact that they understood it enough to break it down in layman's term for the general person, it was just so amazing to see that. So I want to just make sure that, again, we're headed in the right direction in our district to providing opportunities for our students so that they can be successful in life and beyond. And I just want to make sure that everyone just enjoy your families, unplug. I truly want you to unplug as much as you can. Enjoy your families, our community, enjoy your families as well. Be safe and take the much needed break. See you in the new year. Thank you.
Dr. Elkin Scott.
Yes, want to say thank you to all of those who actually presented this evening. Thank you so much for your time and the presentations. And then want to give a shout out to many of the students and the parents that I had an opportunity to work with during this holiday season. You know, it's one thing for them to see you working within the schools, but it's completely different when they see that you are truly a servant leader and you're working outside of the school district in the community giving back. So I want to say thank you to those parents and students and hundreds of parents and students that I had an opportunity to work alongside with packing the food baskets and giving out turkeys. You know, it's good for them to see you outside of being a school board member and in those schools, but they really see that you're putting in the work. So thank you to those students and those parents, because I did say I'll give you a shout out. And then I want to just give a quote about leadership. A leader is best when people barely know he is or she exists. When the work is done, his or her aim fulfilled, they would say, we did it ourselves, not I did it, because there's no I in team. With that, I want to say, Dr. Moore, thank you for being a true leader. Thank you for being open to suggestions and ideas, and even thank you when we don't agree. So we agree to disagree. Thank you for your time that you have already spent with Richland School District 2 and the years that you have to spend, which would be much longer than my time on the school board. So I look forward to continuing to work with you. I look forward to working alongside you. And I look forward to even better things than what we've already accomplished. So thank you, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, Ms. Washington.
Yes, so I would like to give holiday wishes to everyone by saying enjoy your winter break, rest some more, and rest again, and get rejuvenated for a wonderful 2026. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we close out this year, I want to begin by celebrating the incredible generosity that we witnessed throughout the Thanksgiving season. Because if you remember, we talked a lot about that board, about our students and the 9 days the students would be without possibly having food. And so we are just so grateful for the increase in donations and the tremendous support from our community partners. We were able to assist even more Richland 2 families. I want to extend a very special thank to Optus Bank for donating 10 $100 gift cards, an act of kindness that had an immediate and meaningful impact. We are truly grateful for every organization and individual who stepped forward to support our students and their families. I also want to note the tremendous year-over-year growth that we have experienced. In 2024, the district coordinated support for 145 families at Thanksgiving and 439 families during this holiday season. There is a tremendous need. This year's numbers were 240 families for Thanksgiving and 479 families for Christmas, which represents, as I said, an increase in the need and an equally significant increase in generosity. Overall, we've served nearly 100 more families with Thanksgiving assistance this year than last year, and we are on track to support at least 40 additional families during this holiday season. So I would like for everybody to know that we remain deeply grateful for our partners, our faith community, and our schools for making sure families across Richland 2 feel supported during the holidays. Now, this past weekend, I had the pleasure of joining several of our board members and their families for the Blythewood Christmas Parade. It was a wonderful time for us to connect with our Blythewood community. And yes, that is Miss Nash in her colorful Christmas outfit to share holiday spirit and represent Richland 2 alongside so many smiling faces. And a very special thank you to Mr. Joe Trapp, who brought out his 5-ton military vehicle with no heat for us to ride in and enjoy for the parade. But it truly was a great opportunity for us to let our community know just how much we appreciate them. And our families joined, and it was just an awesome event. As we approach the winter break, I want to encourage everyone to continue supporting our schools in whatever ways you can. Our high schools and individual campuses are leading thoughtful efforts to assist families this season, and your involvement, big or small, goes a long way. Tonight marks our final board meeting of 2025. It has truly been an incredible year, and I want to thank our Richland 2 family, our surrounding communities for your partnership, your support, and your unwavering commitment to our students. I also want to take a moment to remind parents. For those of you that are not aware, Richland 2 is one of the founding members of the Be Smart organization, which focuses on securing weapons in your home. We want to make sure that every one of our students return to us after the winter break, safe and sound. So parents, please make sure that if you have weapons in your home, that you secure those weapons and that our students remain safe and return to us. I want to wish each and every one of you a joyful holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year as we continue to be purpose-driven so our students are future-ready. Thank you, Madam Board Chair.
All right. Well, I guess I'm the final frontier before we head off for the break. So I just want to start, and it'll be short, I promise. But I want to say there's a lot of work that we've started since, June. And where we are now is light years. We've moved at light year speed, honestly. And I just want to say thank you to all my board members, and you guys have absolutely earned the rest. So please take it, because starting January, bring your tennis shoes. That goes for everybody. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. All right. But also to the staff, everybody, thank you so much for running with us. I really appreciate you all. To all of the families and the people online and in person, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. To Mr. Simmons, sorry about little technical difficulties, but we also want to thank you for being online and working with us and rolling with it. So I hope you all have a great night, and there being no further information or anything else, this meeting is adjourned.